Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Fats, aka Cam Jennings, coming at you on behalf of epicconversions.com. And guys, I want to talk to you about engagement today, and I want to talk to you about getting attention today. Because the fact of the matter is, we're all online trying to make money online. A lot of you guys out there might be kind of new. You don't got it quite figured out yet. You're trying to make money online, and you might think, how do I make money online? I need to build a list. The truth is, building a list is really important. And sending good emails and doing email marketing makes a huge difference. But the truth is, what I've found is that the more people care about what you have to say, the more money you're going to make. And we can condense that down to one word, right? We can condense it down to attention, right? And, by the way, if you like this content that I am going to be giving you today in a few minutes, hey, you owe it to yourself to head over to epicconversions.com. Check out the Insiders Club. That's my little discount club. We do a coaching call every single month, group coaching. It's pretty awesome. You should check it out. If you want to get serious with your online endeavors, you belong in my Insiders Club. Anyways, that's enough about that. Back to engagement, back to making money online. So here's what's interesting, right? I was reading a book a few days ago, and I'm going to show it to you in a second. But before I do, I want to show you another book that is going to really help, demonstrate my message, and it ties into this book. So let me screen share really quick, and I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. So back in 2003, this book came out, right? It's called The Da Vinci Code. And I don't know if you guys remember this, man. This was a few years ago, right? This book was really, really popular. They ended up making a movie about this book. I believe it had Tom Hanks in it. And it was just a really popular book, man. It was like a phenomenon, right? So I was talking to you about attention. This book had a lot of attention around it, right? A lot of America's attention was around this book, right? So let me come off of screen share now. And let me show you the other book that I wanted to tell you about. This book came out 2 years later in 2005. This is called Cracking the Millionaire Code. Now, this is a book that's aimed at entrepreneurs. It's aimed at business people, people who are trying to succeed as entrepreneurs. Came out in 2005, 2 years after the Da Vinci Code. Okay. Now, I want you to notice something. Look at the color scheme on this book. Look at the gold trim. Look at the dark red colors. This book is modeling the cover of the Da Vinci Code. It's modeling the same look and feel of the Da Vinci Code. It came out 2 years later. There was still a lot of attention around the book. This came out after the book, but before the movie. So there was a lot of hype around the Da Vinci Code. Now, what they're doing here is they're riding the back of the attention that the Da Vinci Code was getting, right? Sometimes when you want to get attention, you can look for something that's already getting attention, and you can kind of ride the back of that thing, right? You can kind of ride the back of it by kind of modeling your stuff to kind of look like that stuff a little bit, right? Now, cracking the millionaire code, what did it have to do with the Da Vinci Code? Not much, right? Because this is about succeeding in business and in life, and the Da Vinci Code was a fictional story. It didn't have anything to do with it, but they modeled the cover after that concept, right? And because people's attention was already on the Da Vinci Code at that time, this got their attention. And in that way, Mark Victor Hansen was able to kind of piggyback on the attention that something else was already getting, right? That's pretty cool, man. And you can do the same kind of thing with the stuff you're putting out. You can find something that's already got a lot of attention and try to kind of model your stuff a little bit after. I'm not saying copy, but I'm just saying, if something's already getting attention, could you make your thing look a certain way that would kind of get people's attention because they're already thinking about that other thing, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the engagement factor, right? Because when we create content, we should always be kind of thinking man, am I keeping people engaged with my content? I mean, I personally am guilty of not doing that. I'm personally guilty of being like a bull when I put content out there. I got something to say and I got a point to make, and I just ram right into it. And I don't think about how people are interacting with me on the content and how they're engaging with the content always, right? And that's a mistake, right? Because the fact of the matter is, the more people are engaged with your content, the better off your content is going to serve you, right? So that brings me back to this book. This book is written in a very, very interesting way. This book is not written like a normal book. This book has two things going on. On the right side, there's always these stories about millionaires and very successful people. And on the left side is kind of like self-development to help you in your business, right? And every time as you go in through the pages, this side of the page generally follows that of the story of that successful person, while the left side of the page follows a story about you. And it's like almost like there's two books in here. There's two parts to this book. On the right side of the pages is one part of the book. On the left side of the page, it's another part of the book. You could literally read just the right side of the pages all the way through the book, then go back and read all the left side of the pages all the way through the book, and you get the book like that in two different parts. Pretty interesting. The other thing they do is they kind of like ride this gimmick of the Da Vinci Code throughout this book. And what they do is all throughout this book, they put in these little codes and these little puzzles that you have to solve. You can see some right there. But they put these little puzzles and codes in here, and they progressively, there's another one down there at the bottom, they progressively get harder and harder and harder. And the interesting thing about that is the book is keeping you engaged. It's not just a read. You're not just reading it. You have to actively read it, because on one side of the page, you're getting one story. On the other side of the page, you're getting a different story. And then you got these puzzles that progressively get harder as you read through the book. It's pretty crazy. And I can't say I loved it that much. It was kind of annoying, to be honest. But what I will say is it kept me very engaged. I could not passively read this book. I had to actively read this book. But this all happened because they were inspired by the Da Vinci Code. They used the knowledge they were going to put out in a book, and they modeled it around this thing that was already getting a lot of attention, right? And they modeled the whole concept of this after that. And I just have to ask you, could you model a piece of content that you were going to put out after something that was already getting attention out there right now, and thereby piggybacking some of that attention onto your stuff? Because I told you at the beginning of this video, attention is money. Excuse me. It's the truth. Attention is the currency of the internet, right? So if you can piggyback a little of someone else's attention, man, that could translate directly into money for you. It could take a blog post or a YouTube video or a book or a product that you were going to put out and make it that much better, that much more interesting, that much more shared, just because you modeled some aspect of it after something that was already getting attention, thereby piggybacking or siphoning some of that attention onto your thing, right? And I ask you if you can do it, and I can just answer it for you. You can absolutely do it. You can do it to great success, and it's not even that hard. All you have to do is take something that you wanted to write about or you wanted to talk about, and then think about something else that's really popular right now and try to fit that into your thing in some way. Not that hard. You'd be surprised how easy it could be, right? So anyways, give that a try and let me know how it works out for you. So I will see you in the next one. I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's provided some value to you today. And let me know you're live in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, everybody.